What's up, everybody? So it's Machop Community Day in Pokemon Go, and in today's video, we're going to be trying out Payback Shadow Machamp in the Great League. Now, Payback is obviously the new exclusive Community Day move for Machamp, and it is a Dark type move, and this thing is an absolute monster because it can now one-shot Psychic and Ghost types, which it was previously struggling against. And for this particular team comp, I'm going to be running it alongside Jellicent, which was only introduced to Pokemon Go about a week ago, and Registeel as well. The reason I put this team together is because of Machamp's pure fighting typing. It's going to be weak to flying, psychic, and fairy type moves, and Registeel, because of the steel typing, is going to be able to resist all of those, right? And of course, Jellicent, because of the water and ghost typing, is going to provide resistances against fire and fighting, which Registeel is going to be weak to. So overall, this team works really well together. And Jellicent is a fantastic save switch option, right? So if you lead with Registeel and you lose the lead, you can save switch into Jellicent, and more often than not, you're going to be able to win switch advantage. And as long as you win switch advantage between Shadow Machamp and Registeel, you're going to be able to handle most of the common threats in the meta, which is why this team honestly worked really well for me. And we managed to land some paybacks as well. So some really exciting battles in here, and let's just get straight into it. Okay, moving on to the first battle here. I'm going to be leading with Shadow Machamp for the first battle, and then I switch it up to Registeel from the second battle onwards because I felt like Machamp would work better as a closer. So we have Shadow Machamp into a Pelipper. Terrible matchup, right? So immediately going to save switch into my Jellicent here, and now you'll see the power of Jellicent as a save switch option, right? Now they make a switch into their Galarian Stunfisk, but they were very slow to switch out. So we have so much of an energy advantage right now. So I'm just going to go straight for the Shadow Ball here. Going to do massive neutral damage to this Galarian Stunfisk, and I do have to watch out for Earthquake. So they are overfarming quite a bit, and they have enough energy for an Earthquake right now, but I'm hoping they go for the Rock Slide Shield bait, right? So we call the bait, which is huge. That doesn't do that much damage. So I'm going to go for the Shadow Ball again here. This is probably going to get the first shield from the Galarian Stunfisk. And I do want to win switch advantage in this matchup because I don't want my Machamp to go up against their Pelipper. So I'm going to try and get off another Shadow Ball here, but another charge move is going to come through. So I'm hoping this is just another Rock Slide because we can survive that. We do survive that. We should be able to get to another Shadow Ball here. Now this is either going to get the second shield from the Galarian Stunfisk or take it out. So we either get 2 shield advantage or we win switch advantage and shield advantage, right? Which is huge right now. So they come in with Pelipper, they're going to be able to farm us down, which is fine. So I'm just going to come in with Registeel here. Now, even though Registeel doesn't have a great matchup against Pelipper because both Flash Cannon and Focus Blast are resisted, Registeel is an absolute tank, right? Because those Weather Balls are not doing that much damage. They make a switch into their defense Deoxys. I'm going to come in with my Shadow Machamp here. Now, Machamp doesn't have a great matchup against Deoxys because those counters are resisted. But we have Payback, right? This is exactly why you have Payback. So I'm going to shield up this Rock Slide, and hopefully I can get to a Payback here. And let's see if this lands. Again, because it's a Shadow, I'm not sure if they know that we're running Payback. They're probably going to think this is just a Rock Slide or something. But we land the Payback. That just one-shots the defense Deoxys here. And I'm hoping that I can get to a cross chop. We're barely able to get to a cross chop. And even though this is resisted, it's probably going to get the shield from the Pelipper because it's getting pretty low. And it's fine. We still have like a 70 to 80% health Registeel right now. And this is GG's at this point, right? I'm going to try and go for the Flash Cannon here. But Charge Move is going to come through. I'm going to let it go through. Even Weather Ball is not going to do that much damage, and even though Flash Cannon is resisted because of that water typing, it's still going to do enough damage to take out the Pelipper there. So, yeah, as you can see, I mean, Machamp with Payback really flipped that matchup. Honestly, I mean, if we were not running Payback, I don't know if I could have won that because we definitely needed to get rid of the defense Deoxys, and it's just so destructive. And Jellicent, again, is an amazing safe switch option, right? So moving into the second battle here, we have Registeel into a Galarian Stunfisk. So I lead with Registeel this time, like I mentioned. So this is a pretty bad matchup. Immediately going to save switch in my Jellicent once again here. And this is just going to be a Rock Slide, which is why I'm not going to shield this. Too soon to be an Earthquake. We do let the Rock Slide go through. And they make a switch into their Venusaur. This is exactly why you want to have Ice Beam to provide protection against those grass types. And this is going to put massive shield pressure onto this Venusaur, right? Does get the shield there, which is fine. I'm really trying to get to another Ice Beam before a charge move can come through. Unfortunately, they're able to get to a Frenzy Plant. So I'm going to shield this up because I either want to win switch advantage or get their second shield as well, because Machamp does really well towards endgame when shields are down, right? So I'm just going to go for the second Ice Beam here. It's going to do either get the shield or take out the Venusaur. Does get the shield there, which is fine. They're probably going to be able to farm us down, which is fine. We have a Registeel in the back, which can wall Venusaur, right? Because everything Venusaur has is resisted by Registeel. So I'm just going to come in with Registeel here, and then, yeah, Sludge Bomb is double resisted. Frenzy Plant is single resisted. They go for Sludge Bomb, which is probably not the right move to go in with. You definitely want to go with Frenzy Plant in this matchup because, like I said, it's single resisted. They're probably going to go for this Frenzy Plant right now. It's fine, doesn't do that much damage. And I'm hoping that I can get to a Flash Cannon here. I'm worried about them switching out, but they don't switch out. So Flash Cannon is going to do enough neutral damage to take out the Venusaur from this range, as it does there, which is fine. And let's see what they're probably going to come in with Galarian Stunfisk. Immediately going to go into my Shadow Machamp here, and they have an Altaria in the back. Now let's see how much Payback does to an Altaria, right? Obviously Rock Slide would help in this matchup, but again, Payback is going to do massive neutral damage. Let's see how much it does. That just does so much damage. That does about like 60 to 70% of Altaria's health, and we're able to counter down the Altaria as well, which is huge. And I'm able to get to a Cross Chop as well. Now this is going to do massive super effective damage against this Galarian Stunfisk, and it's almost going to take it out, but a couple of counters is going to be taking it out, right? It ends up being a double KO, but it's fine. We still have a Registeel in the back, like with more than 50% health, and we were able to take care of that there. So you can just see how much it does to something like an Altaria. Altaria is an absolute tank, right? And I mean, to do about 60 to 70% of Altaria's health, that is just crazy right there. And also, like I said, Jellicent, once again, putting in work in this particular team comp. So we have Registeel into an Obstagoon. Somewhat of a tough matchup this, but the good thing about this matchup, I'm going to stay in, right? Because, like I said, I have only one counter to an Obstagoon because Jellicent doesn't have a great matchup against it either. But the good thing about this matchup is that I'm going to go straight for the Focus Blast here, and it's definitely going to get the shield, right? Because it's going to one-shot the Obstagoon, because Obstagoon being double weak to fighting because of the normal dark typing does get the shield. So at least at this point, we're going to be able to take shield advantage, which again, Machamp does really well when you have shield advantage towards endgame. So I'm going to let this Cross Chop go through. It's going to almost take out my Registeel here. It's a good thing that they go for Cross Chop because they're not going to be able to farm for too much energy. So I'm going to come in with my Machamp and try and completely counter this Obstagoon down. Again, we're absolutely destroying this Obstagoon right here, and I'm not going to shield this, right? Even if it's Cross Chop, it's going to do quite a bit of damage, but we can tank that. And I'm going to be able to completely farm it down here. And let's see what they come in with. They come in with Hypno. So let's see if we can land a Payback here. Again, they're probably going to think, I'm not sure if they have track of how much energy we have. So I'm going to go straight for the Payback, and it one-shots the Hypno right there. That is huge. They have an Azumarill in the back, and we have a Jellicent, and this is GG's at this point, right? We still have a shield advantage as well. And then Jellicent kind of walls Azumarill because except for Play Rough, everything else is resisted. They go for the Ice Beam Shield Bait, which is fine. It is resisted. And at this point, we've almost guaranteed our win because all I have to do is basically get to 3 Shadow Balls. The first one is going to get the shield, and then 2 more Shadow Balls is going to take it out. And we're also going to be able to outpace Azumarill to the charge moves. And I'm going to go for another Shadow Ball here. I definitely have to watch out for Play Rough in this matchup, but nothing they have is going to one-shot us, right? So I'm going to go for the Shadow Ball again here. Again, we still have 2 shields, and all I have to do is basically block this. I'm not going to flex. I'm just going to block it, even if it's Ice Beam, Hydro Pump, Play Rough, whatever it is. It doesn't matter because we should be able to get to a Shadow Ball before they can get to another charge move. And also we have another shield as well. And also we have a little bit of Shadow Machamp as a potential sack swap option, but we won't need that. We're going to go straight for the Shadow Ball and take out the Azumarill there. So once again, Shadow Machamp completely able to flip this matchup, being able to land Payback in that just one-shot the Hypno from a full health, right? Hypno is a really tanky Psychic type Pokemon. And I think that's like one of the biggest wins with Payback on Machamp is that you're going to be able to catch a lot of Psychic and Ghost types off guard there. So moving into the 4th battle, we are 3-0 in this set right now. We have Registeel into Skarmory. Best case scenario, I think the first time we won the lead in this set of battles, which is really good. I'm expecting them to switch out on the charge move. They make a switch into their Machamp, immediately going to go into my Jellicent here. So the thing about this matchup is I do have to watch out for Payback, right? So I'm going to shield this. Actually, it was too soon to be Payback, but I still shielded it just in case. It is a Rock Slide, which is fine. So this probably tells me they don't have Payback because typically most people who run Payback will run it along with Cross Chop. So I'm going to let it go through. It's probably just going to be another Rock Slide, but ends up being a Cross Chop Shield Bait, which is huge. That's double resisted right now. So I'm just going to go straight for the Shadow Ball here. This is going to one-shot the Machamp if it goes unshielded. And as it does that, which is huge. And let's see what they come in with. They come in with their Swampert. Now this is fine again. Jellicent kind of walls Swampert as well because most Swamperts in the Great League typically run Hydro Cannon and Sludge Wave. And both Hydro Cannon and Sludge Wave are resisted, right? Because of the Water and Ghost typing. And like Jellicent does really well against so many different Pokemon in the meta. It walls Registeel, it kind of walls Swampert, it walls Azumarills which don't have Play Rough, it walls most water types as well. It can do really well against fighters, and it's just such an amazing safe switch option, right? So I'm going to go straight for the Shadow Ball once again here. It gets the second shield from the Swampert, and we're looking really good right now. I'm going to let this go, let my Jellicent go through. It's done it's done quite a bit of damage to the Swampert already. So yeah, they're going to go for a charge move right now. I was trying to get to a Cross Chop here, but unfortunately we're not able to get it in time. So I'm going to let the Hydro Cannon go through. It does massive neutral damage there. And I'm going to go for the Cross Chop, but they make a really nice switch into their Skarmory to catch it. I should have expected this, to be honest. So it's still kind of a little tricky because they still have a Swampert in the back. And I'm going to come in with the Registeel here. Unfortunately, my Machamp goes down. I was trying to switch, but I was a little too slow. So I'm going to go for the Focus Blast here. Going to do massive neutral damage. And it's perfect right now. This Skarmory is in perfect lock-on farm down range, which is really good for my Registeel. And then I'm just going to completely lock on farm this Skarmory down, and we should be able to have a Focus Blast by the time Swampert comes in, right? Swampert doesn't have energy, and also we have a shield as well. So I'm just going to go straight for the Focus Blast here, and this is going to take out the Swampert and take the win for us there. So this is one of those matchups where you can see how much work Jellicent put in. Like I said, it's just, I can't reiterate how amazing it is in the current Great League meta. And yeah, he was able to get 2 shields from Swampert and also be able to win switch advantage, right? So anyways, moving into the final battle here, I was really hoping that I can go 5-0. Let's see what happens. We have Registeel into a Chestnut. This is somewhat tough. Now, Chestnut kind of does well against this entire team because it does well against Registeel because it has access to Superpower. And of course, Energy Ball would do super effective damage against Jellicent. So I'm just going to overfarm a little bit. I was waiting for them to throw a Superpower because I wanted to force a shield. Because if they'd thrown the Superpower, they would have been forced to shield this Flash Cannon. But they make a really nice play and they don't throw. So they're going to throw Superpower right here. It's fine. It's going to do super effective damage. And at this point, I'm going to try and switch into my Jellicent to catch another Superpower. Unfortunately, they were really smart there. They decided to hold their energy. So I'm just going to go for the Ice Beam right now onto this Crafty. Now, this is somewhat tough as well. Crafty also does pretty well against this team. I mean, Machamp is my only answer to it because this thing does have access to Foul Play, right? So I'm going to let it go through. I'm hoping that Foul Play is not going to one-shot. But they go for Power Up on Shield Bait, which is huge right now. So I'm going to try and get this Ice Beam off as soon as possible. I don't want to go for the Shadow Ball because that's resisted because of the Dark typing. And I'm hoping this Ice Beam either gets the shield or takes out this Crafty. But unfortunately, they survived like 1 HP there. That's really unfortunate. So I'm going to shield this up because, right, a boosted Foul Play would probably take us out. So it's probably worth shielding it up at this point. And I'm expecting the Chestnut to come in and throw an Energy Ball. So I'm going to try and switch into my Registeel immediately to catch the Energy Ball here. Hopefully we caught an Energy Ball and not a Superpower. It is going to be an Energy Ball, which is fantastic, which is resisted. I'm trying to get to a Flash Cannon here. Unfortunately, we're not able to get it in time. So that kind of ends up making the difference in this game. So I'm going to come in with my Shadow Machamp and try and counter this thing down. And I'm going to let it go through. I'm hoping it doesn't do that much damage, but that just does so much damage, right? That did like way more damage than I thought it would. Like again, Chestnut is just an absolute monster. And they have a Skarmory in the back, and this is GG's at this point because we still have only 1 shield and they have a shield advantage as well. And even 1 Shadow Ball is not going to one-shot it, right? So I'm going to go for the Shadow Ball here. I'm going to basically have to get off 3 Shadow Balls before they can get to 2 Sky Attacks, which I don't think is possible. So I'm going to try and go for another Shadow Ball here. They are over-farming quite a bit. They're probably going to commit to the complete air/farm down. But going to go for another Shadow Ball here. It's probably going to get the second shield from this Skarmory. And I'm trying to get to another Shadow Ball, but we're going to shield this up. But they have so much extra energy, right? They did over-farm quite a bit. So they should be able to get to another Sky Attack right about now, which they do. And this is going to take out my Jellicent, and that's going to be a GG's there. So once again, I think it's been quite a bit of a pattern where I go 4-0, and I'm hoping that I can go 5-0, and somehow I end up getting hard countered in that final game. But there's not a lot I can do against that team comp. I mean, Chestnut does well against Registeel. They have Crafty, which does well against Jellicent, and then of course Skarmory does well against Machamp. So when you have hard counters lined up like that, you can't do too much. But overall, you can see that this team really works well against majority of the team comps, right? So anyways, thank you so much for watching. I'll be showcasing Shadow Machamp more, and maybe I'll be trying it out in other team comps as well. And yeah, I'll see you next time.